Back to Basics. It's Sarah. You may know me from my YouTube channel as Less of Sarah, or I'm also on Facebook. And I am your fill-in substitute guest vlogger this Saturday. Really excited. I've always been a big fan of the Back to Basics channel, so really happy to get to contribute this Saturday. I am going to talk about this week's topic, which is your goals for the last 2 months of the year and how you plan on achieving them. And I think this is a really interesting topic, and it would have been interesting to go back and I guess I've been thinking about, how this video would have been different if I made it 2 years ago. And at this time, 2 years ago, I was 1 month pre-VSG surgery, or last year when I was 11 months out from surgery. So yeah, now that I'm a year and 11 months out from surgery, things are definitely very different. And really, I would like to say that I have a whole bunch of specific goals that involve, eating a certain way or more fitness. But honestly, I've had to put a lot of those goals on the back burner because I've realized that there has been so much upheaval in my personal life, my professional life in the last year. And we all go through those times, and everyone just generally is busy and has lots of stuff going on and lots of external pressures that can cause you to get off track, fall off the wagon, all those things. But there's been so much going on that literally my goal for the next 2 months is just to hold on. It's just to maintain. I don't even necessarily have the goal of losing weight. I'm a realist. It's that season. I just want to not gain because there are so many things that I'm trying to adjust to. And although I don't consider myself to be an emotional eater, certainly it happens from time to time, and just the availability of more food and all of those things. I don't think I have maybe the willpower that I used to have to stay on track. This year, I'm going to assume that a lot of you watching Back to Basics don't know my story, but I was separated from my husband this year. I started a new relationship with someone who also happens to be a Back to Basics vlogger. We just moved in together. All those things happened. I have 2 children, so we're dealing with that. And now I'm transitioning my work from owning my own business full-time to doing that more part-time and starting to work probably 2 jobs. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of changes, a lot of stress, and I know that there's going to be a lot of challenges. First off, living with someone new, I'm sure you've probably all guessed that it's not TJ. I'm sorry, that it's not Tyrone. It's not Tanya. It's Chris, Gooch Monster VSG. And if you've watched his videos, he is trying to actively gain weight because he's underweight. So it's interesting to be living with someone who's trying to gain while you're really trying to lose, or at least to maintain. That brings its own sort of set of challenges, because obviously we eat different things at different times, and it's hard to be trying to encourage someone else to eat without wanting to eat yourself, or encourage them to eat high-calorie foods without you eating high-calorie foods. So that's definitely difficult. Also, with work, that's something else that is not something that I'm used to. I'm used to working from home, working my own hours, and being able to eat what I want, when I want to, eat when I'm hungry instead of at a prescribed time. Now I'm suddenly going to be working, hopefully upwards of maybe, 50, 60, maybe even 70 hours a week, which I'm used to doing for myself at busy times, but I'm not used to having to work outside the house, so I'm not used to having to necessarily always plan exactly what I'm going to eat and make sure it's ready and bring it with me and deal with what happens when I forget it, or if it's not something that I feel like eating at the time, or I don't feel like eating at the time when I have a break, all of those things. And I know that that's stuff that most people have to deal with, so I feel kind of whiny saying that, but just for me, that's going to be a big transition. So I definitely think, that's something that's going to be an issue as well. And of course, hello, it's the holidays. Normally, because I'm Canadian and we celebrate our Thanksgiving at the beginning of October, it's not quite as bad a time of year. But it depends on how you look at it, I guess. But this year I had Canadian Thanksgiving to deal with, and now it's Halloween, and I have 2 small children, so I definitely have candy in the house, and I can't really avoid that. And then we're going to be celebrating American Thanksgiving because Chris is American, and of course we also have Christmas and everything that comes with that, and on top of that it's my birthday December 14th and Chris's birthday January 15th. So it's like 3 months of lots of going out and celebrating and parties. So yeah. And, you know, that also brings things like alcohol and, you know, sweets and all those things that generally I have an easier time avoiding. Last year I definitely fell off the wagon. In December I had a terrible month in December last year. It was off the rails food and alcohol wise. And I'd like to not repeat that this year. So basically, my goals are just to keep on the straight and narrow, keep on the path, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to do that. It really comes down to how badly you want it. That's always how I feel. And I know I've talked about this on my own channel. You have to really want it, and you have to understand this is for a lifetime. It's not just for the first year or the first 2 years, but it's forever. So this is a struggle that's going to happen every year, and I'm ready. So I'll keep you guys posted. Hope you had a wonderful Halloween yesterday. Hope you have a great weekend. Catch you soon. Back to Basics. Peace.